Imagine buying a stock before everyone starts talking about it, before the banks, before the foreign investors, before the headlines. That's exactly how wealth is created in the stock markets. And today we are looking at Nigerian stocks that could potentially become the next big success story on the Nigerian exchange. I'm not talking about hype. I'm not talking about pump and dump plays, but undervalued companies quietly positioning themselves for massive growth. And one of them might actually surprise you. Welcome to my channel. If you're interested in Nigerian stock, wealth building, and smart investing, make sure you subscribe because this channel breaks down opportunities most people ignore. Now, let's talk about something important. Every generation of investor looks back and say, I wish I bought Dangote stocks early. But the truth is, the next massive opportunity might already be sitting quietly in the Nigerian exchange today. So it is important that you buy before the hype begins. And not to mention that undervalued stocks are creating massive long-term wealth for a lot of Nigerians at the moment. And some of these stocks have not even come into the public. So you as an investor, I think it's time we begin to look at all of these stocks one by one. And Nigerian markets might actually be entering a new growth phase with the advancement in AI technology in many industries like banking, like telecommunication. We might actually be seeing key numerous financial opportunities for investors in the Nigerian stock exchange market. Now, let me quickly talk about what makes a stock undervalued. Now, a lot of stocks are undervalued because people are yet to see the strong earning potentials that they have. And because many of these stocks are actually getting low market attention, they are not being hyped on social media at the moment. Then we have some of these stocks are still positioned in growth industries. Like some of these growth industries include banking, like in agriculture. So we see all these companies are still gaining momentum. So as a result, many investors are not even seeing that this is a massive opportunity or there's a massive price rally that is ongoing, that is brewing at the bottom. Now, it is attractive. It doesn't have attractive valuation yet to a lot of investors because a lot of investors are not seeing the attractive valuation in all these stocks. But and but that should not stop you as an investor from making or doing your research on all this kind of stocks. Then people are not seeing the expansion opportunities that can actually occur eventually in all these kind of stocks. So as an opportunity or as an investor, a smart money investor, this is one of the core places where you should be looking at. You should just take your eyes off the hype for once and focus your attention on all these key companies that I'm going to be talking about. Now, one of the undervalued industries right now is banking. Now, I know a lot of people are beginning to see that banking stocks can actually make people a lot of huge cash. But that is not even what I'm going to be talking about today. There are so many banks right now in Nigeria that people are not even watching. Example are Wema Bank, Zenith Bank, GTCO, and UBA. Now, the reason why a lot of things are happening for these banks is that, one, these banks are making strong profits day to day because of the government monetary policy that the government has put in place. Another reason is recapitalization opportunity. Bank recapitalization is ongoing at the moment, and federal government has pegged this bank recapitalization at 500 billion. Do you know the amount of investors that are watching this banking sector keenly? People are waiting for the right opportunity to jump in, and you also should be very observant. Now, we see a lot of all these banks expanding to places beyond Africa. We see banks like GTCO already operating across the shores of Africa. We have banks like Wema, like Zenith Bank. They're already operating in the diaspora. So this should tell you that there are so many opportunities available in the banking industry. Another opportunity that is available is AI and tech opportunities that are available in the telecommunication industry. Now, telecommunication industries and banking is also They are now making transactions seamless. Also, they are making it easier for people, for customers to come into play. We have a lot of we have telecommunication now. You can now make payment digitally. We have massive giant, we have massive telecommunication infrastructure ongoing right now in many of all these telecommunication industries. And we see many of all these telecommunication industries are also going into partnerships with one another. For instance, Airtel is coming into partnership with Starlink. You see MTN developing key payment infrastructures like Momo. We see them doing, like, we also have Airtel doing smart cash. What does this tell you? This tells you that there's an evolution that is happening financially. And you as an investor, you have to find a way to key yourself into all these opportunities that are growing at the moment. Then we have telecommunication companies are now creating cloud services. So information is becoming so easier for you to get across to. Then we have fintech growth. Financial technical service, fintech and financial technology is on the rise. We have development of many key fintech opportunities right now in Nigeria. So this is telling you that AI is reshaping the market, the Nigerian market right now. And I believe that every investor should be looking deep into all these places. Now, industrial giants, we have other industries that are also evolving. For instance, we have cement industries, cement manufacturing, we have agriculture, we have infrastructure, we have manufacturing. All these companies are positioning themselves, and smart money are already looking at it. Like, they are already observing this pattern. They already see that, okay, there's a lot of money to be made, and some people are already buying shares in this company. So if I were you, I would go and study the financial statement of all these companies and keep myself into all these opportunities that are available, readily available. So we have companies that are solving large-scale problems, often dominate long-term. Like what I usually say, if you have a company that is solving basic human problem every time, then you should actually be focused on all these kind of problems, on this kind of companies that are solving daily human needs, like companies like agriculture, companies like cement, like companies that provide basic human amenities over time. So you should actually be focused on all this kind of company. Then another thing is the investor mindset. The stock market rewards patience more than excitement. I know we have a lot of social bubble right now. Everybody is talking about what should work, what shouldn't work, what is happening, or what is working at the moment. But over time, it is more important to shift your attention from what people are saying to what is actually happening. So a lot of things are already happening in the stock market as of today. So you as a person now, you should be more patient. Take your time to actually study all these companies, study their financials. And the companies that you ignore today may actually become tomorrow's giant. Let's not forget that there was a time when GTCO, when all these companies were actually in their bubbling stage. So you as a person now, it's time for you to shift your attention from all these hyped companies and begin to look at all these companies that are readily dominating in their own small way. Now, this is a disclaimer. Yes, I actually love to drop this disclaimer because not all cheap stock is a good stock. Now, because a company is cheaper today doesn't mean that it's a good stock to buy. That's why I talked about looking at the financials of that company. Then focus on earnings growth. You have to look at the biannual, quarterly earning growth of all this company to actually be able to ascertain if this is actually a company to invest in. Then study the management quality. You have to study the management quality of these companies. For instance, now, how do they run their, what is the internal management of all these companies? What does it look like? What is the internal structure like? So you have to study the internal structure of all these companies. Another thing is you have to think long term. So when you're investing in a company, invest in a company that can actually make you wealthy over time. So grow with that kind of company. Now, let me quickly ask you, let me just tell you a short story. Now, think about this. Many years ago, people ignored Dangote stocks because they looked boring and they were not making that much money. But look at it today. This boring assets have brought enormous wealth to long-term investors. The stock market rewards patience more than excitement. And sometimes the stock nobody is talking about today becomes the company everybody wishes they had bought tomorrow. Now, here's the question. Which Nigerian stock do you think could become the next major success on the Nigerian Stock Exchange? Drop it in the comment section. And if you want more videos breaking down hidden Nigerian Stock Exchange opportunities, banking stocks, AI-related stocks, and wealth building strategies in Nigeria, make sure you subscribe and turn on notification because the biggest opportunity are usually discovered early. Thank you for watching my video. See you in my next video.